We should have the Jeopardy music playing in the background right now.
I used to, there's a human that I worked with several years ago who used to do this thing where he would make a person close their
Micah
eyes.
says mics are hot.
Oh, good. I don't know what that means. It means out in the world? No, we're not live yet.
We're not live, at least I don't think. It still says scheduled.
We are live.
We are live.
Well, there you go. Is it coming through on YouTube? If we are, we're live. Look at that.
Are we really live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it doesn't show that on this end. Hi, everybody.
Watching it on YouTube right now.
Okay, wonderful. Well, then hit it, Aisla.
That's the intro right now. We're not done. The intro isn't done yet, so Mikey will do something to let me know.
Anything. Okay. All right.
Yeah, turn off your phone sound. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Her Many Voices Foundation celebration of 13 years of service. My name is Aisla. I am privileged to work with the organization, and I'm delighted to introduce Alicia Fall, the founder and vision holder of this amazing organization, and the person who decided to go make a difference 13 years ago when Haiti was hit by a devastating earthquake, and since then has made a difference in several communities across the world. And it's an amazing example to all of us of how one person can really be an impact for change in ways they never anticipated. So thank you for being here with us today, and let's celebrate Her Many Voices and Alicia Fall and the many organizations that are doing powerful work in the world.
Aisla, it's good to see you, honey, and I'm so grateful for you. I can't believe you blink and 13 years have passed for Her Many Voices. And the fact that you have come on in these last few years has just, I don't know, it fills my heart. It makes my life easier. It helps my brain function because you've been here and supportive and just a real powerhouse for me, as well as the organization. So I appreciate it. And I know that some of you are confused because our names are very similar, but so Aisla and I are each other's palindromes. Our names are reversed, just to challenge folks. Any rate, I have so much gratitude that we have been here for all of this amount of time. It started out where, for those of you who don't know, I was in the music industry and I was doing a lot of benefit concerts. And I thought, well, why not marry the artistic side with the humanitarian side? And when we put those two worlds together, Her Many Voices was birthed out of that. And officially 13 years ago today. So although I'm not performing anymore, I still have that gift of spending my days with a lot of artists and activists and those who call themselves artivists, right? They're out there doing the good work. And today we've got a number of people working on this planet to do just that. And man, today, maybe more than ever, we certainly need people who have the heart for humanity and recognize that whatever I do for another, I do for myself, right? Yeah. And the same is said when I do something to someone else, I do it to myself as well. Yeah. So,
well, and I want to say that, I appreciate that focus. Obviously, there's always, and especially right now, there's so many really scary things and hard things happening, and they also get a lot of the press. And the reality is there are also so many people across the world, unknown, unrecognized, quietly doing the day-to-day work to make a difference. And we need to be also bringing that forward, not in a Pollyanna, ignore the challenges kind of way, right, but in a commitment to saying that's the world we're creating. Because the more we focus on the bad, the more energy we give it. We could oppose it, and then we have to create the reality that we want to be a world that works for everybody, that works for Mother Earth. And I value this group of people that you've brought together who are each doing different things to address that.
You're right. I mean, we all hear that the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing. And so we get a lot of the negativity. We hear that in the media all the time, and especially now. over these past couple of years. It just seems every day you wake up and you're afraid to turn the news on. And yet I know firsthand, I do a lot of travel in this planet, and I'm on the ground with people who are doing the work that needs to be done. And yet most people are doing it in a quiet way. They're not touting their horns. They're not out there going, look at me. They're just getting the work done.
Yeah.
They recognize, you know what, my sister and brother here, whether I know them or not, they need some assistance. And if I do something for someone else, I'm helping myself as well.
Yeah.
And that's key to this planet. It's key to healing. It's key to humanity. And the folks that we have today are, for me, power of examples, and certainly those that we need to have our children looking at and looking to for guidance. So I want to start this day out. We've got a few people, and so we're going to start the day out with Attila Suva, and Attila is with the Green Revolution. So Aisla, I probably will see you a little bit later in the show, but let's bring
around. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, we'll see you in a bit. Attila, we're going to bring you up now. It's good to see you, my friend.
It's good to be here with you, Alicia. I'm happy to join from Amsterdam.
Yes.
It's a little bit late out here, so it's in the evening getting here. But as you know, we just met like a little bit more than a half a year ago. But that openness and that aligning of what the Green Revolution want to do, and what is your vision, and how many voices join forces is that is the artistic, because I am a blues singer. That's my first occupation, and during the Corona I turned to be a climate activist. So I'm here to just a little bit to talk about climate action and how we are using the arts, and why we want to bring more arts into the fold to mobilize people, because arts is the best way, music is the best way to create these communities which are needed to help this planet, and on this planet all the living beings to be living in this ecosystem. And our idea, our project is focused on, now we mentioned all the problems that we have two very big worst case scenarios that humanity is facing. One is the climate emergency and the global warming of the planet, and then on the other side there is the nuclear winter. So the cold and the hot is on the two sides. What we are focusing on is how we solve the issues that we own ourselves create, and how we create a life, and how we put money in helping people and revolutionizing communities and activating communities, because the scientists already told us this is what it needs to be done. Changing how we eat, how we travel, how we communicate, how we do everything, and how we distribute money. So our goal with the Green Revolution is to open climate action coffee shops, dispensaries, where people go there, they buy weed, or they just go there and enjoy, have fun with live music, learn about industrial hemp, and all the amazing things that people can do, and how people can help. Hemp can help people clean water, food, shelter, but also what we can create and imagine ourselves is the future. Because with hemp we all know that we can build, not just build homes, we can build skyscrapers, automobiles, aeroplanes,
yes.
Microchips. So that is the future that we want people to imagine and create that future, and that is the culture that we want to encourage with the cafe shops.
And I want to jump in right now and let the audience know the reason why we connected is that your organization reached out to us, like you said, a little more than half a year ago. And the passion and the excitement and the connection of understanding that we are working, we're doing the same work. We're many, many, many miles away across the pond, but we're still doing the same work. And so for those of you who are not aware, Attila's organization, and we will have the gentleman right after Attila, Jeremy Hale, to speak. And they reached out to Her Many Voices and said, hey, listen, we have an interest in working with you and supporting your organization. We want to work with Indigenous peoples in the hemp industry. And so I flew out and I spent a month out in Amsterdam with Attila and doing some groundwork for this. And so I'm so honored that you reached out to us, and we have this opportunity to do some work together. And as you said, within the climate industry, it's social and environmental justice, and we have to act now. We are out of time, so we have to act now. So I just wanted to let people know this is how we first engaged, and so this relationship that we're building is key to the next steps for both of our organizations.
I agree, and that whole month was really great to discover what can be done, how we can do this, how we can achieve these goals together. The most important for the Green Revolution is where money has to go to the people where the money is needed. So our goal here is to fund the artists, fund the activists, fund the people who are fighting on the front lines. Helping those communities is a priority, and that is why our goal is to get the coffee shops, get the cannabis revolution into the people's hands, because that's how we can get people interested and invested in acting, is the way that we create that culture behind hemp, and join the people together in that way. So I'm very happy to be here with you, and thank you very much for the invite. And I see you in New York and in Denver in the NOCO very soon.
Yeah, in no time we'll be together within the next couple of weeks. I know you're 8 hours ahead and you need to get moving. So Attila, thank you very much for stepping in at the last minute. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you soon, hon.
And me too. I hope I can stay a little bit, but I'll be watching the recording soon. Thank you very much, and Jeremy is here to hear.
Yes, and so we have Jeremy Hell. And Jeremy, thank you for joining us today. You were the one who reached out to me initially for the Green Revolution on behalf of Attila, and I want to thank you. And I know that now we've expanded. Our relationship now includes the X Prize, Elon Musk's X Prize. And so you want to talk to us a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, it's amazing to be here. As always, it's a pleasure. It's quite humorous to me that it's kind of come full circle. I actually discovered you on YouTube. So it was one of those where I was researching, helping Attila with different projects that were around, and discovered you. And it was the stars just aligned, and it was I'm eternally grateful for it. The things that you're doing with Voices is just.
Oh, you're frozen in time. And I have to laugh because Jeremy reached out after seeing a TED Talk that I did many years ago. And I thought, you never know what people are going to find. So careful with your words, right? You
Right.
never know what people are going to find.
Yeah, and it was something where I was looking for just people that were supported with the same principles that I was really hoping to move forward with projects. It's one of those where I traveled extensively in college and after college, just trying to discover a passion in life, and really encountered a lot of climate and issues with different communities that were displaced or pushed aside by society. And it really created a passion for me. And that's where working with Attila and hemp research drove me to find you in Haiti, and it's opened up so many different opportunities and different things for my perspective moving forward. Of it's not as overwhelming because there are amazing groups and organizations that are doing things, and it's more about helping and supporting and creating a network and connecting. And it's been one of those things that, yeah, having you on X Prize now it's been a blessing.
Yeah, so tell us about Hemp Down and what's going on, what you've been working on in these last few weeks.
Yeah, so with the X Prize, we have February 1st was the deadline for the proposal, so we're waiting to hear back on whether we'll be approved to move forward into the phase 2. With it, we've done a bunch of different research and a bunch of different articles through universities that I've connected to find the best solutions for climate change based on industries. Through that, we discovered that there's a way of incorporating hemp beyond just its ability to sequester carbon, its phytoremediation properties. There are massive benefits that it can provide to communities around the world. And with that, incorporating it into the major polluting industries, we were able to take different processes and determine that there are ways to incorporate hemp into those different business models in those industries and move things forward of turning these massive carbon emitters and polluters and using the benefits of hemp to actually bring it back and start sequestering carbon, putting things back in the earth, benefiting the communities, feeding all the impoverished nations around the world, building schools, like all these amazing things. It was just a matter of putting the piece together, and we were able to do that. And our proposal is exciting, but there's still, like many things, a lot of work to be done with it. But the more communities we involve, the greater the impact, and it's really got so much potential that it's a massive undertaking that I'm really excited about.
You know, it's a reminder every time man thinks they know better than nature, how we hurt ourselves every single time. And here was this beautiful plant medicine across the globe. People have been using this hemp, this cannabis plant for thousands and thousands of years. And then it was made illegal. And it was done so to control, right? It's all about power, control, money, all of that. And so when we remove something from the biodiversity, there's a ripple effect that is devastating. We have such little understanding of the impact of these kind of things. So I'm grateful for people like you and the organizations that are working to recognize we need to bring plant medicines back, leave them alone. They are here to help us.
Right. And it's the capabilities of it to have a positive impact on communities based on so many different properties that it has. There's so much potential, and it's something where it's unfortunate that it was taken away, but it's because of that someone like myself was able to realize that the first world solutions that we're developing, the things like direct air capture, where we're building things, is actually part of the reason that we got in this problem in the first place. Was we decided that going away from what's natural and trying to fight the environment is what's putting us in these predicaments. So it's finding something like hemp is a godsend, where it's taking something that was there, something that has thousands of years been around, and we're going back, and it's these indigenous groups that we're working with are just it's incredible, the things that they were doing and the things that they're able to do. And it's, instead of thinking about we're better than this or having that colonialistic mindset of we can just build it, it's balancing that math equation of the climate and saying, no, let's go back to the natural ways. Let's do the regenerative agriculture. We don't need to add things, because when we add it, you can't take it away.
Right.
There's so much that it's yeah, I could talk for hours.
It's so
exciting, but
I would ask, before, I know we've got a few minutes left, and I would ask that explain what the X Prize is about, because not everybody is aware I know that this is something Elon Musk started out. So explain what this is.
Yes, Elon Musk. He's a very polarizing individual, which I completely understand. It's not a support for his business decisions, but for him, it's his way of finding solutions for different problems that are creating climate issues. So he has a bunch of different competitions. The prize is different amounts of money to continue to move the projects forward. He has everything from meat replacements to, different types of material replacement, going to things like biocomposites instead of highly mined materials. Our group is actually one of the main ones where it's for the carbon sequestration. And it's specific in its own way, in that it's not about a version of the climate emissions. It's actually about the sequestration process. So for that, we had to do life cycle analysis on a bunch of different options that we had through hemp, which is the gift and curse of it. But we had to actually go and identify every emission, everything that came from the very beginning of the seed going to the farmer, all the way to the end of the sequestration into the final product. And then we had to prove that it would be sequestered for at least 100 years. So it's not like we're just taking it out of the air and letting it sit. And there's a lot of pieces where we're actually able, through hemp, we were able to identify an estimation of how much carbon it would sequester per acre or hectare, how much would permanently be locked in the soil. And then we had to balance that equation of, in all the transportation, all the logistics, all the processing, are we growing enough, or does it sequester enough to make sure that we're not emitting at any point more than we're sequestering in the entire span? So it was very detailed, very specific. I had 3 calculators going at multiple times where I'm just doing all these equations. But it was a project where it gave us a lot of understanding about capabilities of hemp, but also the limitations. It can be used for a lot of things, but if you're not looking at the beginning to the end, and you're only looking at a certain piece, you're not looking at the full picture. So it was really an eye-opening experience for me of understanding that it's not just about the focus, it's about everything. It's the whole cycle, and actually making it a circular loop where our solution actually returns carbon permanently, thousands of years. We haven't done research enough to know how long. That's the problem.
Yeah. And that is the problem, because it's been limited research. This is fairly new, right, in the scheme of things. So when do you find out? I know that you submitted the first round for the X Prize, for Elon Musk's first round. And so when do you find out whether you made it to the second round or not?
So for that, they'll officially release it. I believe it's mid-April. However, we're not waiting for that.
Right.
As you said before, we just don't have time. There's a lot of research to be done, a lot of pieces that we need to put together for the supply chain. And there's a lot of issues that we have to look into to make sure that the solutions are viable and sustainable for long periods of time. So we're continuing to progress with it and move forward. And we're working with a bunch of universities around the world to really push these projects forward. So it's a very exciting thing. I'm really excited to have the Indigenous groups actually working with us to help us grow the hemp, find solutions, and be involved. And it's really been an amazing experience to move it forward. But there's more work to be done.
There is more work to be done. And I know that very soon you're moving to the East Coast, to the North New England area. And I'm hoping beyond hopes, this is our focus for this coming year, is that Her Many Voices is going to be acquiring some land in the upstate New York area, and we'll be partnering on some projects. So I'm looking forward to this next year coming up here.
Me too. It's an exciting time, but I can't wait.
Yeah, same here, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Hey, listen, We forgot to mention, for people who are interested in Green Revolution, you can contact greenrevolution.earth, right?
That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Okay. And so is there a link for what you're working on? Or shall we just tell people, you know, we'll keep you posted along the way?
Not yet. So not yet.
Yeah.
I'm working on a few different projects, connecting a lot of people together, which has been great, but it's, there's still some pieces that I need to do before we can actually officially release what it is. And a lot of that comes with the universities. So it's
all right. We're looking forward to it. We're definitely looking forward to it. Okay.
Me too. It's going to be great. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much for all the work you're doing with Harmony Voices and all your other projects. It's truly been an awakening moment for me, where it's opened my eyes to a lot of different opportunities that I wasn't aware of before. So it's been a true blessing to be a part of this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeremy. I feel the same. All right. You have a beautiful day. I think coming up, do we have Selah coming up? We have Emmanuel is contacting us from France. And we originally met in Haiti. Emmanuel has been working with us for a number of years. He's coordinated a lot of the projects with us. And he says, congratulations to you, Mrs. Alicia, and your collaborators for this great initiative. God bless you. Oh, thank you, Emmanuel. Merci, chérie. Merci. Greatly appreciate it. He is practicing his English, as I need to practice my French, and certainly Creole. So at any rate, Jeremy, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
All right. And I think we